Have you ever wondered what really makes up your soul and spirit? We often hear these terms, but do we truly understand the difference? According to the Bible, these aren't just words, they are unique parts of our being, each with its own role and purpose. Imagine knowing how your soul shapes your emotions, while your spirit connects you directly to God. In this video, we're going to explore the depths of these concepts, guided by verses that reveal God's design for our inner life. Are you ready to uncover the truth about your soul and spirit? Humanity faces a complex inner struggle, one that's often described as a war within. The Apostle Paul addresses this in Romans 7 verse 15, expressing, "For I do not understand my own actions. For I do not do what I want, but I do the very thing I hate." This verse highlights a fundamental conflict between immediate desires and a quiet, guiding voice within. Many experience this in everyday choices, feeling torn between what they know is right and the pull of short-lived satisfactions. It's as if two forces within, soul and spirit, are in constant dialogue, each with its own motives. This internal battle can seem confusing. We often know what's best for us, yet something deeper holds us back, urging us down a different path. The Bible explains this tension as a war between the soul, which houses our emotions and will, and the spirit, which seeks divine connection. Paul describes this struggle not just as a mental dilemma, but as a conflict with our nature itself. The journey to understand this internal divide is the first step in seeking true alignment with God's purpose. In daily life, recognizing this conflict allows for personal growth. For instance, when someone is tempted by anger but chooses to respond with patience, they are experiencing this very struggle. Jesus himself taught us the power of aligning with the Spirit, saying in Matthew 26 verse 41, "The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak." This awareness helps in understanding that our soul and spirit are distinct, yet they each play a critical role in our spiritual journey. The Bible offers a unique view of human nature, presenting us as beings made up of body, soul, and spirit. In 1 Thessalonians 5 verse 23, Paul prays, "May your whole spirit and soul and body be kept blameless at the coming of our Lord Jesus Christ." This verse reveals a layered structure within each of us. While the body interacts with the physical world, the soul represents our thoughts, emotions, and will. The spirit, however, reaches deeper, connecting us directly to God, acting as a channel for divine guidance. Understanding this tripartite nature gives insight into our internal conflicts. The body craves comfort, the soul seeks expression, and the spirit yearns for communion with God. These distinct aspects of our being don't always align, leading to a push-and-pull effect. For example, someone may feel compelled by their spirit to pursue a life of purpose, but their soul's desires or physical needs can create resistance. Recognizing these layers helps us find balance in our choices. For anyone seeking spiritual growth, acknowledging this structure is vital. It's not just about meeting physical needs or satisfying emotional desires. It's about nurturing the spirit. This realization is a call to nurture all aspects of ourselves, each playing its own part in our relationship with God. Only by aligning body, soul, and spirit can we truly experience the fullness of God's purpose in our lives. The soul holds a profound significance within us, serving as the seat of our emotions, thoughts, and will. In Psalm 103 verse 1, David proclaims, "Bless the Lord, O my soul, and all that is within me, bless his holy name." Here, we see that the soul is not only where our personality resides, but also the center of our adoration. This part of us feels joy, sorrow, and desire. It's where we make decisions and express our unique identity. The soul, in many ways, reflects our inner world. Unlike the spirit, which seeks divine connection, the soul is often influenced by worldly experiences and personal desires. It is in the soul that we experience love, anger, and ambition. However, if not guided by the Spirit, our soul can become attached to fleeting pleasures or consumed by worries. This internal tug-of-war emphasizes the importance of grounding our emotions and choices in spiritual wisdom, seeking guidance beyond ourselves. As we reflect on the soul's role, it's crucial to ask ourselves, where do we direct our emotions and desires? Are we like David, channeling our soul's strength to bless and connect with God? Or do we find ourselves swayed by temporary feelings? Recognizing the soul's power allows us to direct it purposefully, aligning our thoughts and desires with a higher calling. The Spirit within us plays a unique role, acting as the direct link to God. In John 4 verse 24, Jesus teaches, "God is Spirit, and those who worship Him must worship in spirit and truth." This verse highlights the Spirit's primary purpose, to connect us to the divine on a level beyond the physical and emotional. Unlike the soul, which houses our emotions, the Spirit is where true communion with God takes place, allowing us to understand His will more deeply and experience His presence. Our spirit serves as a bridge to divine insight, a place where we can hear God's gentle guidance. When we quiet our minds and tune into this part of ourselves, we open up to God's direction in ways that are beyond human logic. This is why prayer and meditation are so powerful. They align us with our spirit, inviting God to communicate directly. The Spirit, in essence, is what lets us perceive divine truth that the soul alone cannot grasp. Reflecting on the Spirit's role, we might ask, how often do we listen to that quiet, inner voice that seeks God's truth? The Spirit guides us to a wisdom that goes beyond emotions, offering clarity in moments of doubt. This connection is a reminder that God's voice is within us, accessible when we seek Him in spirit and truth, grounding our journey in a divine relationship. The relationship between soul and spirit reveals a fascinating duality within us. While the soul governs our emotions and desires, the spirit is where we seek divine guidance. Proverbs 20 verse 27 says, "The spirit of man is the lamp of the Lord, searching all his innermost parts." This imagery shows the Spirit as a light, a divine compass within, illuminating the paths we should take and helping us see beyond mere emotions and impulses. In a world driven by feelings, this spiritual lamp keeps us aligned with God's purpose. The soul often reacts to situations based on emotion, joy, sadness, anger. Meanwhile, the Spirit encourages a response grounded in faith and purpose. For instance, when faced with an injustice, the soul may feel anger, but the Spirit calls for understanding and grace. This balance between feeling and faith is crucial, allowing us to act in alignment with God's will rather than being led purely by emotion. This duality is what enables us to live a life that honors both our human experience and our divine connection. Recognizing this interplay, we might reflect, are we letting emotions drive our decisions, or are we looking to the Spirit for guidance? Each moment offers a choice to listen either to the soul's immediate response or to the Spirit's wisdom. When we choose to heed the Spirit, we allow God's light to direct us, ensuring that our journey reflects His purpose and truth. The Bible speaks of a profound transformation that begins within, as the soul learns to be guided by the Spirit. In Romans 12 verse 2, Paul writes, "Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind." This verse invites us to embrace a new way of thinking, where our soul aligns with divine wisdom rather than worldly influences. It's a process that involves shifting our desires and choices to reflect God's will, letting the Spirit lead us in every aspect of life. This transformation isn't instantaneous. It requires daily dedication. Just as a plant needs sunlight and water to grow, our soul needs consistent spiritual nourishment to align with the Spirit. Through prayer, meditation, and studying the Bible, we allow God's truth to reshape our inner landscape, replacing old habits with renewed purpose. Imagine each choice as a step toward God's light, bringing us closer to a life of faith and alignment with His teachings. As we embrace this journey, we can ask ourselves, are we actively letting our soul be shaped by the Spirit? Transformation happens not only in grand gestures, but in small, daily actions that reflect our commitment to God. Each day, we are given a chance to renew our mind and spirit, opening ourselves to a life that fully embodies God's love and purpose. Spiritual transformation doesn't happen overnight. It's a gradual process that requires dedication and patience. Ephesians 4 verse 23 reminds us to be renewed in the spirit of your minds, calling for continuous growth and reflection. This renewal isn't about a single moment of change, but a daily commitment to align with God's truth. It's cultivated through moments of silence, prayer, and meditation, which allow us to reconnect with our purpose and let the Spirit shape our soul's desires. In today's fast-paced world, maintaining balance between soul and spirit can be challenging. Jesus speaks to this in Matthew 11 verse 28, saying, "Come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." This invitation reminds us that, while we are pulled in many directions, peace is found by grounding ourselves in God's presence. Daily responsibilities and pressures often tug at the soul, but the Spirit seeks to stay connected to divine truth, offering a foundation that keeps us steady amid life's storms. As we reach the end of this journey, think about what you've learned about your soul and spirit. Do you feel ready to let your spirit guide your path, aligning your desires with God's will? Each day offers the chance to deepen this connection, bringing more peace and clarity into your life. Remember, understanding these parts of yourself isn't just knowledge. It's a step toward a life more attuned to God's purpose. Stay curious, keep exploring, and let this knowledge transform you from within.